this council as they make decisions for the town of Merryville and surrounding area. Lord, keep under your watch our town employees, our police, and the citizens of Merryville. In your name we pray. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please be seated. Would there be any add-ons to the agenda? Any add-ons to the agenda? Okay. Approval of minutes for the regular meeting June 10th, 2019. Do I have a motion for that?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Approval of financial statement, actual versus budget, June 2019. I have a motion for that.
Motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Under mayor's comments, they had bingo this morning. There's 15 people there. It's growing. The people are enjoying it. The next one will be July 22nd at 9 a.m. at the Methodist Church on Fraser Street. Ones of you, I have spoken about this before. There's a tropical depression out in the Gulf. Who knows what it's going to do? But I ask for people to, for your medication, don't try to run sharp because we never know what may happen. Try to keep gas in your car and keep water at your house, bottled water. But we do have generators. We're going to be running water and all that good stuff. But important papers that you have, gather them up, put them somewhere safe. This is just a precautionary measure. Mr. Reinhardt, myself, and who else at that meeting? When Hurricane, Mr. Thompson. We was at the hurricane meeting here about a month or so ago, and
Robert was there.
Robert was there, and they talked about there's a good chance that this could be the year. But I'm not saying it. That's a prediction. Everything is a prediction. So let's just be on the safe side and be prepared in case something does happen. And of course, we'll be here. Things happen. We have generators. Like I said, we'll have supplies here for people that cannot evacuate. So just get the word out about all that, and I would appreciate it. Under old business, we have Weaver Street renaming. I'll turn this over to the board.
Sarah was going to check into it with 911 to see what the best way to go for that would be. And, we tabled it for this meeting.
You
but
want
we
to
didn't-
table it?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, I ask for a motion to table Weaver Street until our next meeting. I don't even know what day that is, next meeting. I don't think they're great time to see.
Carol, package right here. That's yours.
That'll be August the 12th.
Yeah.
August the 12th will be our next monthly meeting. So I ask for a motion to table this till August the 12th.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. We have under new business here this afternoon. We have with us Mr. Mark Herford. He's going to be running for sheriff for Beauregard Parish. And at this time, Mr. Mark, if you got something you'd like to say, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Ladies and gentlemen of the council, thank y'all for having me as well. Members of the community, I hope I can give you some information about myself and why I'm running for the office of sheriff. So I started with the sheriff's office 27 years ago. Sheriff Baller Bishop hired me when I was 20 years old. And I've spent the last 27 years serving the community as a law enforcement officer. During my time with the sheriff's office, I've been involved in every single part of the sheriff's office. I've worked in every division of the sheriff's office. I started off in the jail, moved into patrol, then went into narcotics, into detectives first, and then into narcotics, and then I was promoted back to detectives as the chief of detectives. So I spent the last 15 years as the chief of detectives for the sheriff's office. One of the things I'm very proud of, during my time as chief, we had 22 homicides during that period of time with 25 victims. We had a couple of homicides that had multiple victims. We solved every single case and convicted every single murder. So we have, at this point, no unsolved homicides at the Walnut Parish Sheriff's Office. And I'm very proud of that. And I don't take credit for that, other than just to say that I was a part of a very good team that we had there. And I think that speaks highly of the organization of the sheriff's office. So I have a very specific plan about things, how I think I can improve the sheriff's office and improve the service to the parish. One of the biggest things, and I know a lot of you have had this conversation with me before, we want to open up 2 more manned substations. We want a substation on this side of the parish, and we want a substation on the east side of the parish. We already have one down south, but we're going to have to tweak the hours of it, because as it currently stands, it's only a Monday through Friday 8 to 4 station. Well, these stations on the east and the west, since they're coming up new, I want to put uniformed deputies and detectives in these stations, so they won't be working out of the river. They'll be, when they come to work in whatever time of the day they come, they'll be coming here, and they'll be your local deputies. So you'll get to know them, and they'll get to know you, and hopefully over a period of time, we can build a relationship where you guys, if you have a problem, you feel comfortable enough with somebody who's working here to either call them or stop in and see them, and I think we can provide better service. I think it'll also allow us to help out with Merryville PD when they get bogged under, when they get slammed, we'll be there to pick up their slack. If they get too many calls going at one time, we can run in there and help. So I think that would be a good thing. But also, one of the things, we want to tweak the hours of the shifts. So right now we have basically 6 guys working 12-hour shifts. They come in at 5:30 in the morning and they get off at 5:30. And then the next 6 come in. Well, there's not a lot going on in the parish at 5 o'clock in the morning. So what our thoughts are is to maybe tweak that shift a little bit. Maybe have 2 come in at 5 a.m. and then have 2 more come in at 10 a.m. and then 2 more come in at noon. So, and do the reverse on the afternoon crew. So what that does for us is it doubles the amount of deputies that we have on the road at any one particular time during the busiest part of the day. And we can do that, and it won't cost any more. We won't have to hire anybody. We just have to tweak the hours a little bit. And I think that would be a big thing, a big benefit to y'all. One of the other things is we want to add to our narcotics task force, just maybe a person or 2, because right now we have, 3 or 4 guys that work from the sheriff's office, and I think the city PD's got 2 guys that are assigned to that from them. So if I could get the city to pony up 1 more guy, and I could pony up another guy, that would be a big time positive on the task force side. A lot of you may not know this. Everybody knows that we have a methamphetamine issue. Everybody knows that, but what's fixing to happen is we're fixing to start seeing heroin show up here in larger amounts. And the reason for that, for years and years in Louisiana, if you got caught distributing or convicted of distribution of heroin, it was mandatory life in prison, without possibility of parole. But that law was changed, so it's not life in prison anymore. And because they're not scared of the penalty as much as they were, we're going to see it coming into the parish. So we want to try to get in front of it. I would never stand here and tell you that we can eliminate drugs. That would be lying. But I think we can get in front of it and slow it down some. And I think having the substations, that's going to go a long way, because we need the community help to better fight that war. So that, in addition, I want to do something that we've never done. Never been a full-time training division at the sheriff's office. And what that training division, technology, even in your own life, technology moves so fast and changes so fast that it's hard when you got a big organization, it's hard to get that organization headed in the right direction really quickly. But I think if we have a training division, that's going to help us stay on top of those things, so that I'm providing you with the deputies to have the latest training. the most up-to-date information, because even laws change. That's why we have a legislative session every year. And every year, something's going to change or they're going to add something. So I think that would help us stay up to speed. And obviously, we would open that training up, as we always have, to any of the agencies inside the parish that want to participate in that, be it Merryville or DeRidder PD or whoever. We've never denied training for anybody, and I can't see that would ever change. Now, I did want to take just a second to give you one thing that I think makes me the most qualified person, in addition to all these things that we've talked about. So we have to resign to run for office with the sheriff's office. You can't work there and run for office. So March the 1st, I had to resign. Several months prior to that, the sheriff, who was in support of me running, called and said, if you're going to run for office, then you need to come learn the business side of it. Because as I'm assuming almost everybody knows that the sheriff's office is the chief tax collector for the parish. So every single penny of tax revenue comes to us, and then it's dispersed out in the ways that it should be. And that includes, as the mayor and the council, we collect all the property tax and sales tax for the town of Merryville, in addition to the river. So it comes in somewhere around $90 to $100 million a year that runs through our office. I'm the only person that's running for this office that has any experience with that. And that's a big deal. And the sheriff will tell you that the civil side is just as important, if not more so, in a lot of ways, than the criminal side. Because if we mess that up, then that trickles down to the town, it trickles down to the parish, the school board, the police jury, and there's dozens of entities that we disperse money to. So it's got to be done right. And I'm proud to say that the system that we have in place right now is very, very good. And we don't have to, but we audit ourselves. We bring in an independent auditor every year and have the sheriff's office books audited. That's not required, but we want to make sure that we're doing it right and that we're not one penny is being put someplace that it ought not be. So I think that gives me a little bit of an advantage that I already know a lot about that. And I don't have to come in and take a period of time to evaluate what the sheriff's office needs. I've been there long enough. I know what we do right and I know what we don't do so right, and I have a plan to take care of those things. So that being said, I would appreciate all of y'all considering me when the election comes up. It's on October the 12th. And I have some extra of these, if any of you would like to have one. It has a card, it has a plan, D-plan, on the back, and my phone number's at the bottom. If I get elected, that's still going to be my phone number, and I'd like for you all to have it in case there's something that comes up and you think that there's a concern that I need to know about. I'm always willing to talk and listen as much as talk, I promise you. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Mr. Mark,
Yes, sir.
can I have that note if I get pulled over?
Mayor?
Okay, moving right along here now. Under police personnel, thank you, Mr. Mark. Chief Thompson, we have Mr. James Harrison up as reserves. You're up next.
Yeah, we're about 3 reserve officers short. We've had 3 or 4 of them go to different jobs, and I'm trying to get these slots filled. And he knows a good bit about police work, stuff like that. So I'm gonna let you tell him what he does.
How y'all doing? James Harrison, I go by JR. I spent 17 years in public service already as a firefighter and paramedic. Decided to switch job careers and go into law enforcement, trying to get that moving a little bit further. I still do help town do land out whenever they need in their law enforcement capacity, stuff in the park. Just trying to move it on a little bit farther where I want to be at.
So, you think it's something that you want to stick with at
Oh, yeah.
Merryville? Maybe come on full
Yeah, I don't plan on
time?
going anywhere. I don't plan on going anywhere else.
So you're reserved at New Lynn?
No, I work with them to help them do things, different projects, and
in Louisville.
Yes, ma'am.
Would you consider moving closer and
I
becoming
have
full-time
already,
here?
I've already thought about that.
And becoming on full-time here?
If the opportunity was given, I would strongly consider it.
You got a good recommendation from the mayor, or chief, I'm sorry.
I tried.
What happened with the school bus deal? What you put to?
Well, I still have my bus. I still have a position with First Parish School Board. Even though I got a letter stating that I didn't, but I did get another letter stating I would. That's more of a part-time thing. I enjoyed it. I love the kids, love the students I was with around.
Well,
I
I mean,
still
'cause
see
we
them all the time.
always needed bus drivers here in Merryville.
And I own my own bus. It's a brand new bus.
So
Air
that
conditioning and all.
might be something to consider in moving away if you was to get on full-time.
I know some people that work for Warren Parish Public Schools, and they told me to come down here because it pays a little bit better, and
It is.
I thought about it. They've given me the contact
Always
information
in
recently,
desperate need of bus drivers.
and there's a shortage everywhere, most of them.
Right, well, I mean, just field trips weekly, you know, we can.
Y'all have any questions? Anything you would like to add, Mr. Harris?
Not that I can think of.
Any question, Mr. Thompson?
I'm just, now, what was you terminated for?
There was a complaint that I misused a credit card that was found not to be true, and that is stated in the paper that I have. My route was in a very rough part of town. You can't just, you can't talk to the kids, just baby them, you have to be real strict and real stern with them. Started having problems not to go that route. Me and not the superintendent, the transportation director butted heads a lot on it. And it boiled down to the very end of it was where I parked my bus at. Me and another driver had a disagreement. He said, "You're moving your bus back home." And I said, "No, sir, I'm not." The agreement was that I had in writing that bus would be parked here. And he used some derogatory language towards me. I went straight to the superintendent's office with it. But since I was terminated, I got another letter. It's actually in my truck now. It says I'm still employed for the 2019-2020 school year, signed by the assistant superintendent.
Make a motion. Robert Munson.
I have a motion.
That's it.
Have a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, welcome aboard, Mr. Bear. Okay. Okay, next item up on the agenda is vacation, holiday, sick time for fiscal year July 1, 19 through June 30, 2020. I think all of you have that in your package. If there's any questions about that?
Good try.
I don't have any questions.
Okay, no questions? Okay, I entertain a motion to accept this for July 2019 to June the 30th, 2020 on vacation. Do I have a motion?
I made
Second?
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much. Also, item number 4, council meeting for July 1, 2019 through June 30, 2020. I think you have that in your package also. Any questions about that?
It's at the very back. Should be. Oh, okay. 'Cause I thought I was. Here's mine. Here's the one. Homecoming, I think it's this week. I'll take that. That's why we'll start reading on Tuesday at
Okay. Item number 5, we have appointment of Mr. John Wyndham, CPA, as auditor for the town of Merryville for fiscal year July 1, 2019 through June 30, 2020. And he has done an excellent job for us. Any questions?
Motion.
Have a motion, have a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much. Number 6 is the Boulevard Daily News official journal for the town of Merryville. I'll entertain a motion for that.
Make a motion.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much. For the people here that don't know, we have Mr. Dennis here. He's a mayor of town of Delano. He's right back there in the back. Glad to have him with us this evening. I appreciate everyone that's coming to our meetings. And now we're open up for public participation. If this is your time to speak, complain. Your time.
Dave, are they gonna do anything about the Walker Street, with all the hose and stuff in it? Is there any, have anybody looked at those hoses there?
Well, I appreciate you bringing that forward, but that, you know, they may have worked on it before, you know, but we can readdress it, you know, go back. I have a project going on that has a good bit of coal mix that's supposed to be brought in, and when it is, we'll see if we can put some coal mix in those holes. It stays a lot longer than road-based does.
Especially right there at the entrance of Walker Street, it's got like a concrete hole that, you get it every time you go in and out of there. And with the clinic there, you know, we have school kids that stay at that little school stop.
Okay.
During the school years, somebody would bounce off that hole and maybe hit a kid or something, you know?
Okay.
And that's the main one. I'm
I'll
concerned.
have Reggie look at it in the morning.
Okay.
How's Cooper Street?
Ma'am?
Cooper Street, how's it coming?
Cooper Street, I met with Mr. Gary, he's a road foreman, police jury. That was last week, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And, they're in agreement, they're gonna bring the foundation dirt in for us. They're gonna be able to pull the riprap that's off in the ditch back up, so that's gonna save the town from having to repurchase riprap. Okay, he's gonna give me the time frame on this. I'm looking at any day, we're gonna order a pretty good load of coal mix. And so they'll go back and they'll resurface that on the edges back there, and whatever else we have left over, we'll put like on Walker Street and other streets that, you know, we got potholes, and we got a major leak up here. It's not a major leak, but a leak up here on Hennigan Street. So, you know, we got places we can be able to use it. But he's told me how much to order. I'm just waiting for him to come. They're gonna go get it for us, so it's about $375. Police jury. They bring it down, put it in their yard. When they get ready for it, they'll go over there and get it, take it over to Cooper Street. And I'm just hoping we don't get no 8-10 inches of rain. You know, so that's the status on that. Anything else, anyone? If not, I entertain a motion to adjourn. Appreciate everyone coming out for our meeting.
Motion.
Second.